This incredible town is Steamboat Springs, Colorado, nestled in the Rocky Mountains, and it's home to 13,000 lucky souls and one very famous bike brand, Moots. Moots have been making bikes here by hand since 1981, and they're best known for making beautiful titanium bikes. I've come to town and I'm going to swap my GCN presenting gig, roll up my sleeves and get my hands dirty because I want to find out what it's like working at a place like Moots. And to do so, I'm going to follow 2 employees for the day. So let's get to the factory and get started. Hi, John. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's
Ready
good to be
become
here.
A bike builder for the day?
I'm so ready.
Let's get you inside and get you to work.
Perfect. Let's go.
First, we're going to take you into the miter shop, and this is basically the headwaters of where everything starts for Moots. So raw titanium getting turned into tube sets for bike frames.
Perfect.
Let's go check it out.
Let's have a look.
This is where everything starts for Moots. Our raw material comes into this room, and then it starts to take shape in the shape of a bike frame.
Wow.
So working off basically a blueprint, these fine gentlemen are cutting tubes to spec, whatever the size might be, whatever the model might be, and it starts to really start to form a bicycle frame. Once we're out of the miter shop, the next stop along the way is welding, and this is where the more visible, maybe artwork happens of the welding. And so in here, we've got a staff of 6 full-time welders, and they're welding bikes every day from the tube set that we just had mitered in the miter shop. It shows up here in weld. It looks a lot like a boxed up tube set that we see on the shelf here. And then it starts to follow the plan of cleaning, jigging, tacking, welding, until it's a completely welded bike. From welding, we go into what we call post-welding finishing.
Okay.
And that's right back this way.
Let's go.
So right here, we basically have the frame right out of the welder's hands. At this point, we stamp a serial number into the bottom bracket shell by hand so we can identify the size, when it was made, track it if it gets stolen, hopefully not. And then we go in and we start to bring those contact points of the frame back into spec. That would be the head tube, the bottom bracket shell, the seat tube, where we've done a lot of welding and a lot of heat has been applied. There's movement within that material. And so we bring that back into round and square. So when this bike comes out of the box, the components go onto it flawlessly.
So this is the final step of the bike, almost like the makeup room.
Yeah, so this is the finish department, and this is where the actual aesthetics of the bike kind of take place. This would be our anodizing that we do in-house, our bead blasting that we do in-house, and any kind of the colorations that you see on the frames currently from Moots. This happens to be our new Apex finish. That's all done right in this area. And this is where kind of the color and the personality of the bike start to come out.
And last but not least, what have we got here?
So this is what we call our CNC department, and basically it's computer numeric controlled machining. And what this department does for us is it provides about 90% of our weld-ins that go into our frames, which would be the head tube, the bottom bracket shell, the water bottle bosses, the cable guides, and some of the dropouts. It's a very important step for us to have this in-house. It helps us with our lead times, helps with quality control. And when this Moots frame leaves here, almost 100% of it was manufactured right in this building. And that, to us, it's kind of the Moots way.
Yeah, definitely.
If we can do it ourselves, we're gonna do that.
Perfect. So where am I going to get started today? What's my first task of the day?
I think your first task today is back in the miter shop.
Cool. Let's get started. Thanks for the quick tour, John. So my first stop is mitering with Rossi. And to begin with, I should probably find out what that even is. First of all, I've actually never heard of a miter, but what is a miter? What do they do?
Miter is essentially just cutting.
Okay.
Yeah. So we take all these big raw tubes up here in the background and we cut them into smaller lengths. We do that over on our lathe over here. So we'll take the big long lengths and cut them to a specified shorter length.
And this is where the bike making process starts.
Absolutely.
This is the first stage.
Yeah, all those long lengths of tube are essentially a bike in the raw.
I mean, they don't really look like bicycles when they're up there, but
Not yet.
how do you make
yet.
it into a bicycle? What's the first step?
So first step, we're gonna cut them and then we're gonna, so I've made these earlier today, cut them down. And so this will be a chainstay for a Route 45.
Okay.
So after they're cut down, we're gonna bend them. So we have our chainstay bender here. And that's it.
You made that look very easy, actually.
Leverage.
How do you know when to stop? Or is that set up in this jig thing?
Yeah, so on the back side here, we have stop so that these bender arms will actually contact the same point every time.
Okay.
So we get really repeatable results.
Can I have a go?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get you going. So take your chainstay, you're gonna put it in your bender.
It's quite a lot of pressure knowing that this is going to be someone's bike.
I don't think so.
Do you not think so?
No, it's good stuff. They're gonna be out riding on it one day.
Yeah, true. Just don't want to mess it up.
All right, here you go.
Just pull.
Just pull. Keep going, you got it.
How did you make that look so easy?
Yeah,
Hey!
there you go.
But my first tube. Okay, what's next after the bending?
So we've bent this. We need to check that it's the right bend height.
Okay.
So we'll take it, bring it on our table, and we're gonna set our height gauge, and we're just gonna make sure that it is perfectly in there. So we bent it to the exact right height. You did a great job.
So I did a good job.
You did a great
Nice.
job.
Cool. That's a good start.
Yeah,
Haven't messed it up
you're
yet.
hired. We're gonna have you do some more now.
Okay.
So we got this whole box for
The
you.
whole box?
Whole box, every one of them.
Oh. Whoopsie. That's the last one done?
No, that's it.
The hard work done?
No, now we just gotta flip them over and do it again.
Flip them over, do it again.
We have to make the
Right.
S for the chainstays.
Okay. And
So-
how do we do that?
All right, so we're gonna have to reset our bender
Okay.
so that we get the right bends in the right spots.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look at our book here. Tells us everything we need to do.
This is a recipe to make a bike.
This is the exact recipe for the chainstays of the bike.
So
I
basically
got a
like
whole
baking,
book
but
of bike recipes. It's
nice.
great. Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna set our stop so that we can bend this side a lot more. So it's gonna get a little harder.
Not sure I'm ready for that. Well, I'm still ready.
Oh yeah.
Oh, got a bit shaky towards the end there. Oh, look at that.
So what you're left with is a nice chainstay.
Is that good?
That's good. That looks good. That's what we're looking for.
How do you like measure that to make sure?
We're gonna measure it the same way we did with the first one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right, Manon, so we're gonna take these tubes that we've just bent. We're gonna throw them on this cart here, and we're gonna go squish them.
Squish them.
All right,
Can't wait.
here we go.
Right, let's squish. What do we do here?
All right, so we've got our squishing machine, and we've got our squish blocks.
Squish blocks, okay.
So we are going to take our chainstay, put it in the blocks, and squish them.
Okay.
Straightforward.
Does it just,
So we got a hydraulic pedal here,
okay.
and we're gonna turn the machine on, step on the pedal. It's gonna bring the jaws down,
Yeah.
squish the chainstays, and then they come right back up.
Okay, let's do it.
Think you can handle it?
Well, it's a pedal, so it's a little bit less demanding.
Less physical,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so I think hopefully.
Perfect. That looks perfect. And now you're gonna line up the other end with that block. Exactly. Turn it on.
Let's get squishing. Final bend. Squish.
And that's it, the final
The
squish.
final squish.
Yep.
Squish and done, what's next?
You know what that means. We're cutting.
Cutting.
We're cutting.
I knew that. Right, the cutting machine looks quite scary, but what happens here?
So we're now gonna cut the chainstays that we've made. So we got our chainstays and we're gonna load them in on our plate so that they mimic exactly how they will be when they're on
Okay.
the bike.
So everything we've used so far, like the bender, the squisher, and this, are they available just to buy anywhere?
No, they're not. They're all made in-house and we've developed them all throughout the years
So they're
of
very
being
unique to
very
Moots.
specialized to Moots.
So no one can copy you.
Not a single person.
I like it.
All right, we got the machine on.
We have. That's a good start.
That's a good start. So now we're gonna take and run the machine, the saw, into
Oh,
the
wow.
chainstay.
It's good arm workout work in here, isn't it?
Yeah, this one
Yeah.
doesn't have an automatic feed.
Don't need to go to the gym.
All right, so most important is safety glasses.
Safety first.
Safety first. You know
I mean,
it.
these are the coolest safety glasses I've ever had.
All right, so you're just gonna push this forward and we'll start cutting the chainstay.
Let's do it.
Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, you can leave it for now and we're gonna get a nice clean cut on this. One cut and done.
Easy.
Yeah.
Not the quickest cut.
No, you gotta stand
Yeah.
around and
We need to get a break.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hard work in here. All
And
the
you're still-
bending, squishing.
Yeah. You deserve the break. Do I need to pull it back?
You can pull it
Or-
back. Now. And now big red button, stop the machine.
Nice.
Yeah, good work.
Thanks. Just take a look at it.
Absolutely. So if you want, you can just back that out. Other way.
Is it doing anything?
No, we're not doing anything.
Why?
You gotta push the wheel in a
Huh?
bit, like that. And now do it.
Oh yeah.
See, arm workout.
Arm workout, yeah.
All right, now we're on to the bottom bracket cut.
Cool. Just that forward.
Forwards
And then-
forwards.
Forward again. Off it goes.
Same thing, you gotta sit, hang out a while. All right, ready to stop it?
Nearly there.
Nearly there.
Pull it back.
One back. Okay. Perfect. And
And turn it off.
one more on the other side. That's it.
Nice.
You just cut a pair of Route 45 chainstays. Last step, write down the model that you just cut. Route 45.
Route is in route.
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 Like the county that we're in.
Route is in route.
We have our differences.
It's R-O-U-T-T.
Spelled it wrong. Oh. Am I sacked?
That's all right. It'll be fine. I think we'll understand what it means.
Yeah. Well, it's my own personal touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should I spell it right on this one? Do I need to do both?
Both.
How is it actually spelled?
R-O-U-T-T.
Ah. Oh, good. Big thank you to Rossi, but I think my arms are going to need a little bit of a rest after that. I am a cyclist after all. So my next stop is the welding department, where Brett is going to walk me through the next stages of making a bike.
So when I get here first thing in the morning, after I clean my desk, I get the ultrasonic cleaner going. So this is just, this is gonna be filled with hot water and a little bit of degreaser. It's like a simple green. I don't know if you guys use that in the UK, but
no.
It's just like a biodegradable degreaser. So
okay.
That'll take care of any like oils from your hands, fingerprints, cutting oil, stuff like that. So we'll just cycle everything in here and we'll get one going right now.
Cool. And after it comes out of there,
yeah,
you can't handle it with your hands?
So we will wear cotton gloves and we'll just handle it very carefully. Like you'll see when I'm putting it in the jig, like I probably won't be wearing gloves, but I'm taking a lot of care to make sure I'm not touching it anywhere that it's going to be welded. So like the ends of the tubes, like we're not gonna touch that. We're not gonna touch the head tubes or bottom bracket, so yeah.
Cool. Looks like a deep fat fryer.
Yeah. Top tube, the seat tube, top tube, down tube, chain stays.
That's what I made earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we've got our RCS dropouts, how it's all rough there. And it's not going to socket in to the chainstay yet. So we're actually just going to finish that here on the belt sander. Almost. There you go.
Perfect.
That's pretty good.
Right, so after it's been cleaned, what's the next step?
Yep, so after it comes out of the cleaner, everything goes into the drying rack. That's why we get them all cleaned nice and early so they have plenty of time to dry throughout the day. We grab everything and take it over to our workbench.
Precious.
Yeah, so I think you saw this over in the miter department. We've got a drawing with all the critical measurements, and I'm going to go through and match all the critical measurements like bottom bracket drop and head tube angle to the measurements on the jig here. And after that, I'm gonna start loading it with tubes.
And it'll slowly but surely start looking like a bike.
Yep, that's
Cool.
the hope.
Let's do it.
Yep.
Starting to look like a bike.
Chain stays.
Yeah, that's what I did earlier. Small part of the bike, but a very important part of the bike. So how long does it take to tack up the whole bike?
After everything's set up, it takes 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, not too long.
Not long, depending on complexity of the bike.
Cool.
Yeah.
And just like that, it's looking like a bike.
Yeah.
Good job. What's is that the finished process of the welding?
So that is the end of the tacking process. And we're gonna grab this out of the jig. And then the next thing it's gonna do is take it over to Caleb or Devin, one of the finish welders. And we'll get it finish welded by them.
Cool. Okay, so this is the first step of the finish.
Beginning of the end.
Yeah, what do you do over here?
So in this step, we call this the BB wall. This is where we stamp the serial numbers. We check the frame on the yellow card. Actually, that's the first step, is reference the yellow card, make sure whatever routing and whatever options the customer
All adds
chose is on the frame.
Yeah.
Then we stamp the serial number. And
You do that all by hand?
all by hand,
Okay, cool.
each number individually.
Wow. Do you want to show me how it's done, putting the numbers on?
Yeah, sure. All right, so here is where my triple checks come in. Got the serial number and the size, so I'll write that here, and I'll check it all a million times before I before I actually stamp it.
Do you want me to triple
Absolutely.
check that for you?
More checks, the better.
Okay. Oh. 40, 53. All looks good to me.
Now we'll stamp the serial number.
Oh, you actually got the last one wrong.
Don't give me a heart attack like that.
That looks good. Do you mind if I have a go?
Sure. So, unfortunately, I can't let you do a customer's frame here, because like I was saying,
I understand that.
when I
It's a
learned,
big responsibility.
I had to practice when I learned, so we have to pass that on.
Yes,
But
definitely.
we do have, this is the same material. This is actually a bottom bracket shell before it becomes a bottom bracket shell, so we
Cool.
can have you practice on this.
Yep.
Okay, what number do you want to punch in?
Number 5.
Number 5. So 5 is here. This little textured part, that's where you want your thumb. You want that facing you.
Okay.
So that will be, if you did a 180, the 5 would be upside down.
Okay.
So
Don't want that.
that always facing you.
Okay.
So I'll just demonstrate here. I'll let you do it. You kind of rock it on. You can feel it hit its flat spot.
Yeah.
Hold on tight, and just an up and down, one hit. No double taps.
Okay.
All right, you got it.
I'm actually really scared. Is that about right there?
Yeah, can you rock it back and forth? Can you feel it kind of hit
Yeah.
its flat spot? There you go.
Why am I so scared? I'm scared.
You got it, you got it. Just don't hit your fingers.
Oh, what if it-
Let's see what you got. Let's see what it did. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Okay, let's try again. Oh wait, there's the tiniest little,
A tiny
the
nick,
tiny,
yeah.
tiny. Right. Okay.
So yeah, kind of just let the weight of the hammer fall.
Oh.
You don't have to really swing. Maybe a little harder than that.
Well, it's a really good job I didn't try on a
Close.
proper bite
Yeah.
first. Yeah, that was diabolical. Let's. I'm just scared of letting the hammer fall on my.
Yeah, just grip with your left hand, grip really hard so that thing doesn't slide off the punch. That sounded better.
Better.
Half of a 5.
Half of a 5. We'll get in there.
5 is kind of a hard number. The top of it always, because it's curved, the top
Yeah,
of it
that's
likes
true.
to not get stamped. There you go.
Not perfect.
Good enough?
One more. I'm gonna get the top of the 5 this time. It's not happening for me. Thank you, Jared, but I think I'll stick to my presenting gig. It takes several days for a frame to go from tubes to the finished product, so unfortunately, I'm having to leave before I can see my handiwork alongside these. But now that the workday is over, it can only mean one thing. It's time for a bike ride. I mean, it's pretty cool, Brett, that you can be out on gravel roads like this. Some of the best gravel roads in the world, just, minutes from the factory.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, this particular section might not be the
quite
best
bumpy.
gravel roads in the world, but this section is why this bike exists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this is Route County Road 45, also known as Cow Creek. And it's known for having some of the more chunky stuff
Yeah.
in the area. So that's why we designed this bike with room for 50 mil tires, so that you can hit this stuff pretty fast, not worry about completely shaking off your bike.
Yeah, definitely. But a big question, route or route?
Well,
I mean, I did learn this earlier when I
Yeah.
spelt it wrong.
so I would say it's up for debate,
Definitely.
but all the locals say route.
Okay.
So I
I'll have to
defer
get-
to the local knowledge.
I'll have to get with the locals.
Yeah.
Big thank you to Moots for letting me spend the day with them. It's really been great to get an insight into this awesome bike brand, but I guess now it's off to the brewery, right?
Well, that sounds nice, but I might have one more job for you.
Oh, really? Do I get to weld?
We'll see when we get back to the factory.
Okay. Well, I can't wait anyway. I'm sure it's gonna be super exciting. This isn't really what I had in mind. But I guess I am the newbie around here. If you did enjoy this video, then make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And I'll see you in the next video. Although I might be a while mopping this floor. I don't really like mopping. It's my worst chore to do. Oh well.